Hello viewers, welcome to the channel. Today we have the pleasure of sharing with you iPhone 15 Pro Max and Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. It's powerful phone, latest from Samsung and latest from Apple. 6 months apart, but very eye-catching designs and displays. So the screen size on the S24 Ultra is a little bigger, around 6.82 inch compared to the 15 Pro Max, which is around 6.7 inch. And both phones have flat displays this time around and very thinner bezels. So you get a very little screen real estate on the S24 Ultra compared to iPhone 15 Pro Max. Both phones also boast of their titanium frames, and it's the talk of the day. So Apple started with theirs, and I guess Samsung followed suit, for want of a better word. And this is exactly how it looks like in its full glory. Very nice design, and I have the titanium gray color, and it's just good on the eye. Really nice. And the same for Apple. Let's just get that out of the case and see. So Apple's color is titanium blue, so slightly different shade, but the good thing is with the angle of the light, it throws different shades of blue, so that's really nice. Very powerful phones. And so we just go straight into a sound test to see how these phones handle sounds, because I guess in this day and age many people use earpiece, but if you ever find yourself in that situation where you need to use the phone speakers, how does it sound? So Samsung first. And let's listen to the iPhone. Quite very difficult to tell any difference. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Which of these two phones sounds louder than the other or sounds better than the other, because I can't tell. Feels like the sounds coming from the iPhone is richer a little bit and a little bit muted compared to the S24 Ultra. So that will be enough for the sound test. So I think the next will be camera. So the main camera for the S24 Ultra, that main camera, it's a 200 megapixels camera, and the front facing camera is 12 megapixels. So pictures and videos from these cameras are good, and you see a couple of those pictures later on in the session. And the iPhone has the 48 megapixel camera at the back, and front facing is also 12 megapixels. So really nice. And with the AI features on the S24 Ultra, you end up with a situation where you can edit a lot more on your photos and videos taken compared to the Apple iPhone 14 Pro Max. Also, the screen is ceramic shield on the iPhone and Gorilla Glass armor on the S24 Ultra. So they are meant to be very strong phones, but you know, a good friend of mine says glass is glass, and so glass will break if you drop it. So don't do that unless you are one of those channels that do drop test. Yeah, getting that out of the way. Processor on the S24 Ultra is the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 for Galaxy. So that comes with all the AI packed features that makes the phone extra special, extra snappy, and gives the ability to edit and do all those fancy stuff on the AI based editing on videos and photos. So maximum storage on both phones is up to 1 terabyte, and the RAM is 12 gig on the S24 Ultra, and on the iPhone it's 8 gigabytes of RAM, whereas the processor in Apple iPhone is the A17 chip. So that really powers it to give it all the enhanced performance in gaming and all the good stuff that the phone has to offer. So really interesting phone, snappy, just like the S24 Ultra as well. Battery life. So battery life on the S24 Ultra could last you a whole day under heavy use, you know, and still you end up with a little bit more juice towards the end of the day. To the Apple iPhone, similar experience, but the battery on the S24 Ultra lasts a little bit longer, at least about 20% longer. Also, it will take you 1 to 100% in 1 hour 10 minutes on the S24 Ultra compared to 1 hour 31 minutes on the Apple iPhone. So a good 21 minutes extra to charge on the Apple iPhone Pro Max. So the battle between Apple iPhone 15 Pro Max S24 Ultra has been a very long-lasting competition between these two manufacturers, and people will go for iPhone for the ease, simplicity, things being the same they were last year compared to the current year. And Samsung, to a large extent, similar, but they come up with more exciting new features. Some features that on paper looks exceptional, but in practice, you know, measures up to probably what Apple is delivering. I mean, when we talk about the camera, main camera being 200 megapixels compared to Apple's 48 megapixels, you expect huge difference in performance, light and day in performance, or in actual real life use of these cameras. But you know, it turns out pictures from these two phones are equally good and fantastic, and sometimes you can't even tell the difference between the two. These numbers are just numbers on paper rather than in practice. But overall, I think the ProRes function on the iPhone 15 Pro Max is something that sets it apart in terms of camera, videoing, and photography. Whereas on the S24 Ultra, the AI features also set that one apart because the flexibility in editing your videos and pictures and taking people off, bringing people in, and that kind of thing is mind blowing. So all these things helps ensure that they stay up there in selling most of these units. But I guess if you are an Apple fan, iPhone 15 Pro Max will just suit you well and you get everything you want and even more on it. And same, if you're a Samsung person, you would want to still stick with your Samsung because again, it will give you everything you need and more. But if you're undecided between the two, personally, I'll go for the S24 Ultra any day. One, because of the ease of charging and ease of getting your battery filled up, and also for it lasting you longer than iPhone is a big difference that I would not like to compromise on. So that's one of the things that will make me choose Samsung over iPhone. Another big thing is also the AI features and the processor, the RAM, being a little bit out there compared to the Apple iPhone. So with that, I leave the decision to you to make what works for you. But just know that if you are really into videoing professionally, then maybe you might be tilting towards the iPhone, because I think the nighttime photography is better on the iPhone Pro Max, aside the fact that it can shoot in ProRes on iPhone you cannot do in the S24 Ultra. And again, if anyone is viewing this video and you have found a way to shoot ProRes on S24 Ultra, kindly leave your thoughts in the comment section below, because yeah, that's some of those advantages that the iPhone has over the Samsung. But otherwise, both phones are very good. That will not disappoint you. Choosing any of these phones, you'll be happy with anything you would want to do with the phone. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe, hit notifications so you don't miss the next one. See you in the next one. Bye.